Welcome to the first ever episode of Board Game of Life. My name is Kim Park and I'm coming at you from beautiful Playa del Carmen, Mexico. And as you probably know, Mexico has been one of the most open and free countries on the planet since the health crisis started. And I relocated here just 1.5 years ago. And this place has really been a game changer for me when it comes to freedom. And this is what this channel is all about, to establish more freedom so we can achieve more happiness. And I think it's very important to learn from the best players what they are doing and how we can improve our game. Our lives and the world that we live in is nothing but an enormous board game of life. And no matter who you are or where you live, you're already in the game, competing with other players for resources, money, food, and opportunities. And the great news is that all you need to do to turn this game into your own personal success is to educate yourself on what other successful players are doing to gain a competitive advantage. So if you learn what's going on, if you learn how the game works, you will eventually outsmart corporations, governments, and other players. So you can establish the kind of life, happiness, and freedom that you deserve. And these videos, they are all about strategies on how you can start to master your game. So I would encourage you to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so we can take your game to the next level. I'm Kim Park and this is Board Game of Life. There are about 8 billion people on the planet right now, and there are so many people that are doing very, very well. If you look at different entrepreneurs and different investors, they know a lot about what they're doing in their field. But a lot of these people, they're complete amateurs on other topics. So I think everybody can learn from each other. And I hope to start a dialogue between me and you. So you can leave your comments below and let me know what you think. But the important thing here is to bring on strategies and new ideas so we can improve our lives and up our game. And before I bring up the first topic of discussion, I would like to point out how important I think it is that we actually play the game. If you imagine that you are part of a Monopoly game and when it's your turn, you're just acting like a bystander. You say, I'm not going to do anything, I'm not going to make a move. What do you think would happen to your assets? What do you think would happen to your money? What do you think would happen to your food, resources, and opportunities? Obviously, those would diminish quite quickly. And it's the same thing in Board Game of Life. In real life, if we do nothing, and if we do stupid moves or the wrong moves, or if we don't seize the opportunities, we're going to end up in a lot worse places than we're aiming for or wish for. So I think it's very, very important that we structure our lives and learn from the best how we can improve our lives and do more of the things that move us towards the goals that we want to realize, but also do less of the things that take us away from the goals or make our lives a lot more complicated or difficult. So basically, the first topic of discussion that I would like to bring up is averageness. Because I know a lot of people are playing the game just like everybody else. And what do I mean by this? Well, basically, there are a lot of things that we know in our heart and in our brain that we shouldn't be doing. But we're doing it either way because everybody else is doing it. Like smoking a cigarette. I've been smoking many, many years. And hold on. Hola. And if there's one thing I could do, if there's one thing I could tell the younger self, if I could go back in time and talk to myself, I would definitely put quit smoking at the very top of the list. But even though everybody who's smoking knows that it's bad for you, obviously inhaling toxic fumes into your body next to your vital organs, obviously it's bad. It's quite obvious. And we're still doing it because a lot of other people are doing it and they're surviving, and it doesn't seem to be lethal, so we're still doing it. And this is just an example. It's a lot of other things like food, diet. There's a lot of stuff like deep fried, sugary, bad food. That's not even food, but it's something that we consume because it's tasty. We know it's bad for us, but we're still doing it. And all I'm saying is that there are so many different actions and so many different steps you can take in life that average people do, that we should think, okay, is this really what I want to be doing? Is this something that leads to a happy, long-lasting, healthy life that I want to live? And also, I think when you are taking out a mortgage to buy a home, how many have done that? Pretty much the Western nations. I mean, the vast majority of people have done that. But they don't realize that what you're doing is that you are committing yourself to paying this mortgage for 25, 30 years. Many people pay even longer. And this is something that put you in debt. And debt is basically slavery because you have to work off the debt, right? And with the debt and the mortgage that doesn't generate any income, you're just going to buy a home where you're going to live. It's basically a slavery trap where you have to work and keep working to pay off this debt. Basically, my idea, if you're going to go into debt, obviously you should have debt that gives you an investment, that gives you a yield or a cash flow that will repay the debt for you, and obviously in addition give you even more money on the side so you can have a nice cash flow in addition to that. That's a good investment. But all of these things, these actions like taking out a mortgage to buy a home, or eating unhealthy food, or smoking cigarettes, it doesn't matter what kind of action it is. Average people do a lot of stupid things. And I think it's important for us to recognize what we can remove and also what we can do better. It's basically time to become more selfish. Selfish sounds like a very, very bad word, but it's the same like on the airplanes. If you don't put your air mask on first, if you black out or whatever, something happens to you, you can't help your child or somebody else to put the mask on. You have to help yourself first. And that is the main concept that we have to follow. In order to achieve and go some places, we need to be selfish. We need to focus on our dreams, our goals, and exactly where we're going. Because if you are dedicated to always, fulfill and please other people, you're going to break in pieces. So stop following the herd. Always ask yourself, what is it exactly that I want to accomplish? What is exactly that I want to achieve? And never do something just because everybody else is doing it. Because just because a lot of people are doing something, it doesn't mean that they're right. Especially not right for your purposes or your ideas or where you are headed. Because everybody's not going the same way, right? Either way, absolutely refuse to be average. Absolutely refuse to do what average people do, and always strive for excellence. Think about, in the back of your mind, what are my values? What are my wildest dreams? And always take steps and plan accordingly so you can end up exactly where you want to go and fulfill your happiness and your freedom that you deserve. Because most people have vast potential, vast opportunities, but you need to seize them in order to go in the direction forward where you want to go. And this is so important, because if you don't have a plan in life, you're merely just wandering around and you're doing random actions and taking random decisions. But if you have a plan, you have a red thread to follow, So I think my personal advice to you is to travel more, see the world, start becoming a learning machine and take in information, learn from other people, and never be afraid to ask for advice. You can always assume that everybody you meet knows something that you don't know. And if you can soak up that knowledge, if you can just bury all the pride and just admit to yourself that, okay, I can learn something from this person, I can learn something from different people that I meet, you will be this sponge that just soaks up knowledge and information, and eventually you're going to develop the skills and the knowledge that you need to go exactly where you're going to go. So I guess the real takeaway from this video is that all of us have enormous potential, and I think it's so important that we develop it and enhance it in order to go in the direction of our dreams. And everybody can grow and develop as a person, so I hope that these videos in the future will contribute to different strategies and ways that we can take our game in the right direction. All right, so that's it for this episode. I hope you like it. Leave your comments below and let me know what you think. Give me a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel, and turn on the little notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the coming videos that I will be releasing shortly. And I will be looking forward to seeing you on the next video.